Hello, I'm Meera Hashmi and this is Articulation, the show where for us, art is the be-all, end-all of all existence, or thereabouts. On tonight's show, a Lahori landmark, two filmmakers, an artist, and a pop star without borders. There suddenly seems to be no dearth of young, enterprising filmmakers in Pakistan. Seerat Jafri and Anil Salim are two of the most promising.
Overload is a unique Pakistani band based in Lahore. The instrumental band is famous for its percussion and melodies. Sufi music is a religiously inclined genre where the love for the creator is expressed in the most progressive and free form.
And we have with us in the studio Seerat Jafri and Anil Salim, who have this work. Welcome to Articulation.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Okay, first of all, just a little bit about the kind of work that you do or have been doing. Seerat?
Currently,
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of freelance projects. It's good in a way because I can multitask. I can take up a lot of projects at the same time, but I have applied for a job. But I'm enjoying my freelance at the moment. Some of it, like there's one project which is on TV, it's acting. Then there's a marketing campaign for a company.
What about stuff that you've done which is not commissioned work, which is coming from yourselves? What is that all about? What are the subjects that you're interested in, or what kind of filmmaking are you interested in?
Well, so far we aren't really concentrating on one particular subject because this is a stage where we can experiment with pretty much everything we can think of. So we're not down with one particular subject.
Yeah. I think for me, I like realism. I like documentarian approached films. Comedy is also something that I've done. But yeah, I think something that's a mixture of information and entertainment, infotainment, is something that appeals to me, and it's something that I think that's how it should be, considering that we are in Pakistan. I think we can do with an amalgamation of both.
Okay.
Not just entertainment, not just information, just both.
All right, and both of you, of course, have also worked with two very different music bands. You worked with Overload, and Seerat, you worked with Coven. So how did that come about, and what was the experience like?
Well, working with bands, number one, the band I was working with, they don't rehearse at all. They improvise their music every time. So I was doing the lighting for them. First of all, I set up the stage for the lights, and then I was operating the lights as well. So every beat they did, I had to anticipate their beats because the equipment reacts a second or two after I give an input. So I had to predict when they were going to change the beat or, you know, do something like that.
And they improvise so much.
They
in their
improvise so
concerts.
much, and you have to just always be prepared for a change.
Mhm.
So it just kept me on my toes. And plus there was a board here, there's a control board here, I had to run around a lot. So it was quite an experience, and I enjoyed a lot.
Well, a challenge, obviously. wasn't
Yeah, it was quite a challenge. It was a new challenge,
Okay.
and I had
And
a lot of fun.
Seerat, you've worked with Kovan/Moj, I guess. What was that like?
Yes. Moj, not so much,
Mhm.
but Govan, yes, I've worked with them. I've re-edited a music video of theirs. I made a promo for them, and then there was a documentary that I made. Other things as well, like photography for the band, modeling for the band. Govan and I have had a chemistry. They like the way I work, and I think I understand their music.
Mhm.
I understand their image. So it's a nice team. It's a good team, and I'm a big fan of theirs.
Mhm.
And I want people to understand what they're all about, because I think what they are about is much more than just their songs.
Mhm.
Their songs are, there are meanings in there that I want the band to talk about. You know, have a medium where they can say all these things,
Okay.
other than just sing or perform.
But is it hard to get them to talk, though? I guess any musician to talk.
It is, yes. Actually, when they're in their band as Govan, it's hard to
Mhm.
get them to talk. But it was easy for me because I went over to one of the rehearsals
Mhm.
and I caught them off guard. So it was nice, you know. They weren't prepared, and it was a nice place where we sat down on the floor and I interviewed them, and it was
Mhm.
very informal. And we joked and we talked about all sorts of things that had nothing to do with the band, but somehow kind of linked it to what they are now.
Mhm.
So it was a good informal chat, and
Okay.
I tried to make the camera as invisible as possible so they don't feel like it's an interview.
I've seen a trick that works in interviews is that you tell them, okay, we just cut, so we're not recording right now, and then you just casually start asking them questions, and
You just
suddenly
roll.
they just completely change, and they open up and they start telling you those little secrets and all. So that's the best way
Also,
to have an
I've-
interview done.
Yeah, also I've noticed that it's the questions that you ask that also have to be, you know, of the right kind to get
Mhm.
them to talk. Because
Mm.
when you know that they want or they're upset about something that the audience is not getting, like for
Mhm.
example, if they release a video and it has some concept in there and the general public just doesn't agree with it or
Mhm.
doesn't understand it, so you have to talk to them about that specific
Mhm.
video, and they'll start talking about it,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
So you
And
have to-
speaking of chemistry, you two have worked together on a number of occasions, a number of projects.
I had a number of
Quite.
occasions.
Yeah. How does that work? I mean, what's the division of labor, let's say?
Well, she talks a lot, so and I work a lot.
No, wait. I'll tell you what the division is. He's very technically inclined.
Mhm.
As far as the technicality is concerned, he's a good person to rely on.
Mhm.
I'm weak in that department.
Mhm.
You know, I'm more about the vision and the script and the story and the
Okay.
direction. So it's like an aesthetic plus technical
Okay.
skill. So Anil,
In a way, we just complete each other
yeah,
Okay.
professionally.
it's Anil
You're
is
the two-headed filmmaker.
actually it is.
Yeah.
It's a good partnership because I've worked with a lot of people.
Mhm.
I haven't had that chemistry that I've had with Anil.
Mhm.
Sometimes I don't even have to say it out loud; he'll understand.
Okay.
You know?
Oh yeah, plan A, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan A, and you
Like I just have to go
along
like
with
this, and he'll be like, "Yes, I understand."
Okay.
Stop tapping me.
That's excellent, though. It's. I guess it's difficult to find that kind of a working relationship.
Mm.
It is, yeah. You have to
Okay.
go through a lot of people to actually find that.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you have two people who like to talk a lot or say a lot, then they'll always go into a
Mm.
quarrel.
Yeah, he's a
So-
good listener.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we could talk just a little bit about a recent, maybe not so recent project that you did called Bahisht, which
Yeah.
we've seen clips from.
Mm.
How did that come about? What is it about? And what was the response to it?
Well, it was a college project.
Mhm.
It was an independent short movie, budgeted.
The
Our
first
first
film
budgeted.
we
Mhm.
short
spent our
movie.
own money on.
Mm.
Yeah, and it was a topic that was thrown at us, and it just intrigued me, and it was challenging. Home, and I talked to my parents about it. My father said, so wait, are you sure you want to do this? It's like the most challenging subject ever. And I thought, there's no fun in doing something easy. It's always the difficult thing that, you know, you get the rush in, you know, that drive. So, and obviously, as a female living in Pakistan or any other society, I feel strongly about, you know.
Well, it's a taboo subject. It's about incest.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about it, but it's really easy to show it without saying much, because at the end of the film we don't have to say anything. Everyone just knows, like,
my personal theory is that if there is something that you cannot say out loud or you cannot talk about out in public because it's frowned upon, if it's taboo or it's just something that is shoved under the rug, you make a movie on it. And you'd be amazed at the response that people have afterwards, that people you never thought would actually come out with things like that or would talk so openly about it, actually end up talking about it. And and it's if there's a message you want to convey to a large number of people, and you can't stop everyone one by one and tell them, look, this is what I think. You make a moving image that speaks louder than words, and it has for me, a visual has a stronger impact than spoken words or written words.
and it's like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and
Exactly.
video is a lot of frames. So
Millions.
yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll take a short break.